Move over. Move. What's up, you fucking idiots? Today we're going to look at a video called 3 Questions Atheists Cannot Answer. You know how it is. You know how we do it. We just can't fucking answer shit. Atheists don't know shit about fuck. If you listen to these fucking Christian YouTube channels, we wouldn't be able to fucking tie our shoes in the morning. This is from a channel called Towards Eternity. Atheists can't answer these 3 questions. You ready, Blue?
Atheism, a view that constantly leads you to a dead end while questioning the universe. While everything we see in the universe is actually evidence for accepting the Creator, atheism ignores them.
Oh, it's going to be one of these videos where they're just like, the evidence is there, you're just dumb and blind. So this is, right off the bat, I can tell this is a no-brain situation. We're going to have no brain activity required going into this one.
We can talk about it very long, but today we will consider only 3 questions that atheists cannot answer. Question number 1. Where do these characteristics come from?
That's an incomplete question. Where do these characteristics come from? What character? You haven't established any characteristics off the bat. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's an established rule that one cannot give what one doesn't have to another one. For example, let's say there are only 100 white balls in a glass sphere. What is the chance of a red ball to be chosen from this sphere? Of course it's 0, right? No matter how long you wait, you will not get any because there is no red ball inside the sphere anyway.
That's actually not true. If you waited, like orders of magnitude longer than the universe has been around, you'd probably get a red ball to appear in there.
Keep this example in mind. Let's consider a black pencil. Can you draw a rainbow with this pencil? No, because the pencil is in no color other than black. So naturally, a rainbow cannot be drawn. What I mean is, you cannot give a feature you don't have to someone else.
You cannot give a feature you don't have to someone else. That's the whole thesis of this question. What about like inspiration or something? Courage, motivation, anger, happiness. Oh, you ever heard of a sad clown? You ever seen a sad clown before? But he always makes everybody else happy around him. This is like a classic tale. This is so silly. You've got nothing. I think the reason the atheist can't answer these questions is because it's hard to comprehend what the fuck he's even talking about. We have to first figure out what the question means before we can attempt to answer it.
Now, I take a look at the universe and I see that everything is made of atoms. However, although atoms are ignorant, willless, lifeless and blind, deaf and numb creatures having no cognitive senses, when they come together and occur to us as a human being, we see that the man made of them carries all these features. So, the basic question is, how can atoms give these properties to human beings?
They don't give the properties to human beings. Atheists don't think that atoms are God or that they have will. Let me ask you this. Is your God made of atoms? Is he physical in time and space in the material universe? And if not, then how does he give physical properties to anything else? By your own logic, you've defeated your own question. Super easy. Super fucking easy. Any thinking person watching this video is not going to be convinced, at least not by this first question.
While they lack all of them, as they cannot be the true sources, there must be someone else holding these attributes. Because the atom that cannot see cannot create the seeing eye. The atom that cannot hear cannot make the hearing ear.
Nobody's suggesting that atoms have agency, that they made any of these things. This is such a weird fucking thing. First, you're talking about like objects that can't be given if you don't have them. Like you can't pull a red object out of a bucket that doesn't have the red object in it, which is more or less true. But then you go on to equivocate it to like attributes, like the ability to see. It doesn't make any sense. Does a battery have light in it? Then how can a battery make light come out of a flashlight? It doesn't make any fucking sense. You're just wrong. You're just wrong that something can't be given if you don't have it. That's just incorrect. First question, wrong.
The Adam without life cannot form the human who has life.
So does God have life? Because life implies death. And again, does God have atoms? If he doesn't have atoms, then how did he give atoms to us? We understand how attributes, characteristics like a mind and emotions and stuff can come from atoms. This is well understood by scientists. This is not an atheist issue. This is a scientific issue.
The human being has a variety of feelings while atoms don't have any. And all of these things are repeatedly happening every day, even every second. So isn't it necessary to accept that they are under the command of a creator who has attributes such as knowledge, will, power, life, sight, hearing, and compassion behind these atoms?
No, it's not necessary to accept that. Next question.
Second question, who is the judge, who is the prisoner?
What? Who is the judge? Who is the prisoner? What the fuck are you talking about? What? Are you going to say that we think that Adam, again, you're going to say we think that Adam is the God? Is that what you're going for here? No. No. No.
If everyone is a soldier, a commander is required. If everyone is a prisoner, a judge is needed.
We're not soldiers. We're not prisoners. Can't be the judge and the prisoner at the same. What does that mean? Yes, what does that fucking mean? It means nothing. It's sophistry of the highest order.
You know that a room cannot be dark and light at the same time.
Dark and light are degrees. Yeah, it can be kind of dark in a room, but there's still be like a little bit of light. What we call dark, there's usually still a little bit of light in there. So again, you're just wrong. The thing you're saying is just untrue. You lying liar.
Or a paper cannot be dry or wet at the same time.
Something can't be dry and wet at the same time? Yeah, these are varying degrees of moisture that's in something. There's a piano right in front of me that is made of wood. It's pretty fucking dry, you know? But if I dried it out even more, it would fall apart.
These are some examples confirming that one cannot hold two opposite attributes at the same time.
Yes, you can hold two opposite attributes. What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, you can't hold two mutually exclusive attributes at the same time. You can hold two opposite. What does it even mean, opposite attributes?
Because carrying two attributes opposite to each other is a contradiction. Being a judge and being a prisoner are two opposite states. If you are one of them, it's impossible to be the other.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Bricks. If you do not accept the architect to build it, it will be a contradiction to accept that bricks are building this on their own. Because in this case, the bricks will be both prisoners and judges of each other at the same time.
No one is suggesting that the bricks build the house on their own. But let me ask you this. Do the bricks have the property of being shelter? Does each individual brick have the property of being a shelter? Can you shelter yourself from the weather with a brick? Then how on earth could bricks give these properties to a house? Does the builder, hold on, you'll say, but the builder put the bricks together to make the, yeah, okay, so is the builder a shelter? Does the builder have the property of being a shelter? Does the builder have a roof? Do you see how fucking stupid this shit is?
Since all the bricks have a nature that is the same with each other and have no knowledge and free will, they cannot form a building by coming together and agreeing.
But bricks are not the same as atoms. Bricks are made of atoms. You know, the atoms had to cohese inside those bricks to make the bricks be bricks, right? Do you know what atoms are? Does he think there are gods, atoms? Like we worship atoms? Like, that was supposed to be a joke. I don't think it came out right. You get like Adam is the name of a guy. Okay, moving on.
Otherwise, it will be a contradiction. Who will give the order? Who will apply the order? A great confusion would show up. They wouldn't be able to establish a system that could stay protected from collapsing at once.
What the fuck are you even talking about? The bricks are prisoners and there must be an architect. Architects aren't involved in a lot of this shit. Like, what are you talking about? We just use engineers a lot of times. Like, architects are a little bit more for like fancy shit.
So, they are all prisoners, and there must be an architect who has an absolute power on them. The judge is the architect, and the bricks are his prisoners.
Complete fucking nonsense. The judge is the architect and the bricks are his prisoners.
Likewise, when we examine the human body, we infer that atoms cannot make this system.
We do not infer that. We do not infer that atoms cannot make this system, whatever that means. That's such a stupid comment. Even saying that betrays such a deep lack of understanding of what the fuck you're trying to talk about here. This is just sophistry. This is just fucking pig feed for the masses. This is for his own congregation to slurp up. Much like most of these videos. They're not out here. If this dude really thinks he's going to convince any atheists with this shit, man. I don't know, man. But he has the air of a general sophist. You know, a snake oil salesman. They actually don't want smart people. This is the thing about con men and scammers. They don't want smart people. They don't even want to talk to smart people. So they start off their scams with really dumb lines. You know, whenever you get a phone call and it's like, oh, the IRS needs your money, send us Amazon gift cards. If you have like the intelligence level of a mud pie, you're not going to fall for that. So that's their selection process, right? They're selecting for people who are dumb. And it's the same thing with religion. If somebody believes this shit, they're probably likely to send him money.
350,000 people are born every day. Who is the commander here and who is the applier? If we assume the atoms to be doing this job, which ones among them give orders and which ones follow the orders?
What? That doesn't even make any sense. Which atoms give orders and which ones follow orders? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Who orders the raindrops to fall to the ground? Who orders the water to freeze in the cold? This is nonsense. Absolute fucking nonsense. Jesus Christ. The biggest pile of shit questions yet. This doesn't even make sense. No, yeah, 3 questions atheists can't answer because they're so far from sense that most people can't even fucking try to wrap their heads.
How can atoms get along with each other and create so many people every day while they have no knowledge?
You think that, he thinks atoms just come together and spontaneously create people, 350,000 people a day? Really? And people are going to take this guy seriously? So here's what happens. When a man and a woman really love each other, they come together and they have a special hug. And then 9 months later, the stork comes.
Free will and life. So, just as bricks cannot make the building.
Bricks can't make the building. The building is made of bricks. Atoms don't make a human. Humans are made of atoms. Just like everything is made of atoms. The bricks are made of atoms. You're made of atoms. My hat's made of atoms. The microphone's made of atoms. All the sound waves that are coming from my mouth and throat into the microphone are vibrating the atoms in the air and in the cardioid. Atoms. Hail Adam! Hail Adam! All hail Adam. This is the A sign. Hail Adam!
Atoms cannot agree to carry out a quite complex job. That is to say, atoms are prisoners and their judge is God, Allah.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard in my life. Allah. Okay, so he's a Muslim. No, that doesn't make a difference, but I feel like Muslims are they're a couple years behind on their apologetics. They tend to make the worst of these arguments, the ones that just require the most magical thinking. They use the most sophistry. At least that's my experience. I tend to get way more of this bullshit it seems like the Christians have put a lot more time into thinking. Maybe they've just been on the front lines for longer. It's not that Christianity's better than Islam or has better arguments or anything like that. This is just an observation that I've noticed, a descriptive observation, that it seems to me that the more wackiest arguments tend to come from Islam.
Architect of the building, the architect of the human being.
The architect of the human being.
Question number 3. What is the real reason?
Question number 3. What is the real reason? These questions are so fucking incomplete. What is the real reason? What am I on, a fucking acid trip? Did I just wake up? Like, what is the real reason? That doesn't even make sense. That sounds like something I would say when I just woke up from a nap and I'm still in half a fucking dream. I'd look at my daughter and go, what is the real reason? And she'd be like, Dad, what the fuck are you talking about? The reason for what is what I mean to say.
Imagine that we see a train and a baby is pulling this huge train with a rope in his hand.
That would be fucking cool though. How is the baby moving that fast though? That's a fast baby. If the baby's moving that fast, first of all, there's already something different about this baby, so why can't I believe that the baby's strong enough to pull the train? If the baby's as fast as the train, how do I know that it isn't fucking pulled? It's a Superman baby. It's a super baby. It's clearly a super... This is much more evidence. You've convinced me that super babies are real before you've convinced me that God is real. If I saw the super baby, I would do it. And listen to your argument here. You're going to say that we know for sure the baby couldn't pull the train, so there must be some sort of other scientific explanation? Ah! Fucking hell.
Nobody would believe this, so they would look for a hidden cause behind it, right? Because there are no attributes such as sufficient power, knowledge and will in a baby. No doubt, another resource is required. In fact, we see gaps between causes and effects in the universe every day. While the causes are so simple, the results are extremely complex. The emergence of huge trees from a tiny seed.
See? You're just refuting your first question again. Does the seed have leaves? Does God have leaves?
The emergence of a magnificent peacock from a simple egg. The emergence of a complex human from some simple water show us some examples of the gap between causes and results.
It's almost like you're explaining it to yourself right now. You're answering your own fucking questions. See, this is the problem. You're trying to put everything on atoms, but no one's suggesting that atoms drive these things. Atoms are just the building blocks. The imbalances in temperature, energy, entropy, these things drive, fuck, I was about to say creation, but I'm not going to give you that. Fuck you. We need better words. Atheists. We need new words, because we have to use their stupid words all the time. Now you've just debunked yourself, my guy. Right. Yeah. No. A fucking tree comes from a seed, just like you do. You come from a seed and an egg. So does a fucking, two trees made a new tree. Some trees can pollinate themselves. Whatever. I'm not a fucking botanist, okay? I'm a goddamn pajama cowboy. Do you see how easy it is to debunk this shit, though? And this is what I want to tell you. This is what my channel's all about. This is what it's always been all about. And so if I make a couple mistakes every once in a while, that's okay. I'll try to address them. I know that my comments are off now, so you can't tell me if I've made a mistake, but you can join my Discord if you have anything nice to say, or constructive criticism. I'll accept it. But anyway, my point is that this shit is so easy to debunk. You don't have to have like an advanced degree in quantum physics or anything like that. You don't even have to be interested in learning about quantum physics or general relativity or evolution or cosmology or abiogenesis or the Big Bang or any of this shit. All you have to do is be willing to think and answer these questions honestly. And when they ask you a question, don't let it put you on the defensive. Answer the question honestly. If the question doesn't make any sense to you, say that question doesn't make any sense to me. I know that the worry is that, well, that's going to make me seem like I'm less sure in the conversation and then they're going to win the debate or whatever. No, if the conversation is them trying to convince you of something and you're not convinced by what they're saying, say so. Say that doesn't make any sense. Say, what the fuck are you talking about? I can answer these questions all fucking day long. You got any more? These are incredibly unconvincing, you know? And this is the problem, is like all their arguments are really bad. They're all really bad. So like there's no reason to believe in any gods at all. And there's plenty of reason to believe that they're not true. Because we've been lied to. Right? How many gods, Mr. Muslim guy here, how many gods are not true? You know what I mean? And they were all made up. And you'd be perfectly happy saying, oh, these are all made up gods. But my God's a real God. You know what? I don't believe in God. I believe in dog.
It's a boo. It's a boy. It's a
He's not into it. Thanks for watching. This has been another wet sack of garbage that fucking busted out the bottom and spilled all over your feet when you had your sandals on. And you just got out of the shower. Here's what I want you to do for me. Give me a kiss. Just kidding. Hit the like button down there. I like that. I don't get a lot of views, and I have like haters that like to come hit dislike on my buttons, and so I get sad. If I have 2 dislikes and 2 likes, my channel's not big enough to have haters, guys. Come on. This is fucking bullshit. What did I do to you anyway? Okay, so if you watch till the end of the video, you're probably not a hater, so why don't you go ahead and hit the like button, please, to help balance out against the haters. I know you can't see it, but I'm getting a lot of dislikes. So, hit the fucking like button to make me not sad, because it makes me sad when I see the bad numbers. Oh, and send me money, like a lot or a little or any. You could do that. There's a lot of links down there. I'll take it. If you send it to me, I'll take it and I'll spend it. I will. I'll pay my rent with it. I'll pay doctor bills with it. And I will buy drugs with it. Have a pleasant day.